When your leaders are basically idiots, like Trump, Schumer, Pelosi, um, all of Trump's cabinet, the one thing they fear the most is intelligence, because the one thing they do know is that they're stupid, and that intelligent people can make them look stupid very easily, and they're scared to death of it. That's why Trump attacks without impunity anybody who criticizes him, because he's so afraid of people knowing that he's stupid. And his followers are stupid, so they don't know that he's stupid. But he doesn't want them to know. And he'll do anything to stop them from knowing, which is why Colbert does not have a show anymore. Uh, throughout the history of the world, uh, I'll bet they attacked the guy who made the first wheel. I bet they ostracized him, kicked him out of the tribe, kicked him out of his cave, uh, because the leaders at that time that ran the tribe were dumb, and the guy that made the wheel was not. And from that time on, the smart people have been attacked and ostracized and made to be the villain. Gandhi was a villain. Mandela was a villain. But, it's just when they make intelligence the villain, it makes it hard for people to want to be intelligent, which is the point. Um, it's not so much that they can't handle whatever it is the intelligent person has discovered or created. It's that they don't want other people to follow in his footsteps. They don't want other people to want to be like them. They want people to be afraid to be like them. Like Mandela's 20 years in prison. Gandhi, how many months of starvation? They didn't make his life with either any one of the geniuses of the world. Socrates, they killed him. So they do it on purpose to make it made me mentally ill. They locked me up in a mental ward for years because you can't really contact anybody in a psych ward. You can't write anything down reasonably in a psych ward because all they give you is they're lucky if they give you a piece of paper. And if they do, they give you a crayon to write with. So that's their way of saying, you're too smart. We don't even want to give you a pen. So it's systematic. It's designed that way. That's why I say the people that work at the psych ward are more psycho than the people that are patients at the psych ward. And it's done like that on purpose to keep the smart down, to keep people not wanting to be smart. People just want to put blinders on, go through life with blinders on, and you know they want to go through school. They don't want to question anything. They don't want to learn anything. They just want to memorize. They don't want to question anything. They just want to obey. They don't plan to start a business, and if they do, It's more like a franchise where we don't start a business, you buy a business and you run a business for someone who created a business, and it ain't you. So, and that person who created the business makes all the money. Um, Somebody who owns a 7-Eleven makes no money. 7-Eleven Corporation makes all the money. They just have you as an owner so you don't steal from yourself. If you were a manager, you would steal, but since you're an owner, you stop your employees from stealing from 7-Eleven Corporation. Um, and that's what you learn from school. Oh, it's very difficult. And, like I said in other videos, it's very hard to tell the truth from the lie because a lot of the truth is a lie. So, and a lot of what they do is just distraction. It's look at this hand, well, this hand screws you in the back. It's just like they're just dumbing down society. When the Trump had his debate with Biden, it became all about Haitians eating dogs and cats. Why? Because he didn't want to talk about the fact that he was going to take away your medical, he was going to fire everybody, he was going to arrest all the immigrants. That's what he should have been talking about. But that wasn't good for TV. That wasn't good for a presidential debate or want someone wanting to be president. So what did he talk about? Haitians eating dogs and cats. You know. So it was a way of talking about nothing and dumbing down society because people didn't say to him, why did you talk about that rather than talking about substance, about a real problem we have? I mean, even if Asians were eating dogs and cats, it's not a big problem. So, but we all love our dogs and cats. So the idea of someone eating them was just horrifying. So he tapped into your emotions. And you said, I'm going to vote for him because he's going to save the dogs and cats. And that's what it was all about. And you're so stupid. That's what you did. You voted him in. And did he ever talk about dogs and cats ever again? No. Talked about deporting Haitians, but not because they eat dogs and cats. But because he can. And he should have rewarded them. He got them elected. They got him elected. But he doesn't give favors to people that help him. He only attacks people that attack him. Everybody else is just a mule, a sheep. And that's who's on his cabinet, a bunch of sheep. In reality, he's just a sheep too. He's not a wolf. He's not a dog. He's not smart enough. And that's what he wants to hide from you, is how stupid he is. But he doesn't do a good job of it because all he does is make mistakes. But like I said, his followers are stupid, so they don't see it that way. You know, if I made my hat stupid again, call the people that voted for him stupid, because that's what they are. And I'm not mad. I don't care. It has no effect on my life. Gives me something to talk about. I'm sure the news loves it. He's in the news every day. Uh, the comedy and the comedians, all the comedy shows love it. It's a little edgy. You have to be careful with the MAGA people. You don't want to insult the MAGA people like I just did. But It's like shooting fish in a barrel. It's so easy. And they bring it on themselves. They really do. But, you know, MAGA people attack smart people because smart people make them feel stupid, which is what I'm doing. And it's not like it's a lie. They are stupid. And they bought a slogan, "Make America Great Again." And that was it. They were hook, line, and sinker. No looking back after that. That's why Trump used to throw the hats at all his rallies. He threw the hats into the crowd just in case someone didn't have one, and they all had one. But I appreciate your desire to have a good country. I just appreciate your desire to be prosperous in your country. But the way you went about it, you don't deserve a good country. And you won't have one. And you'll be lucky if you even have a country when he's done. But there's a reason why Nostradamus wrote all his predictions in code and didn't release them until he died. It was on his deathbed. You know, I'm not following that logic. I know the logic and I believe in it. I just don't follow it for myself. I'm not on my deathbed, and I don't care. I'm not running from you. I attacked the mob. I attacked MS-13. I don't care. I attacked the FBI. I attacked everybody. The lottery. You watch my videos. I attack everybody. Nobody goes unscathed around me. So, you know, I they might take this video down, but somebody's gonna record it and copy it and save it. Hopefully, if there's got to be one other smart person out there. I don't know. I have hope. I don't have hope in you. I have hope in God, in the universe. The universe is using me, and that's why I'm here. And the universe will use somebody to record this and save it and release it when it's necessary, when it's needed. It might be this release right now that it's needed and when it needs to be. But if there was attempts to stop it, the universe won't let it be stopped. And the universe will find a way. And like I said, you can't stop the tongue. And just like they tried to kill the first Jesus, his tongue lived on through the Bible. And my tongue will live on as well. So I don't fear what you fear. I don't fear at all. Because I know I'm going to a good place. You? Questionable. I doubt it highly. But I'm not. I don't doubt myself. I know I'm going to a good place. I don't know how I'm going to get there. Might not be in a good way. But I know one thing, the universe protects me. And it won't let anything bad happen to me. And I, I don't live in fear. And that's why I'm doing this video. That's why I say the things I say to you. And I say things about the so-called so-called president. I don't care. He can't affect me. He can't stop me either. You know, they put me in psych wards. They locked me in jail. They did a lot of things to try and stop me. And what did I do when I was in those jails and in those psych wards? I worked. I didn't lay in the bed like a vegetable like the rest of the patients. I worked. I read books. I worked. I prepared for my exit, which I knew was coming. They can't keep me forever. So, and when they let me go, I go right back to what I'm doing right now. And the beauty of it is when I'm locked up, I save money. I come out with a nice wad of cash. I can buy all the iPads, I can buy all the connections, everything I need to do what I'm doing right now. So, like I said, cut out my tongue, but you can't stop my tongue from doing what it's meant to do, just change the world.